Hello and welcome. Find a comfortable position. Allow your body to feel heavy and your mind to feel light. Tonight, we are not just going to sleep. We are going on a journey to a place whispered about only in the most speculative theories of cosmology, a place where the rules do not apply. What if I told you that somewhere in the deepest, darkest corner of the universe, there is a zone where the fundamental laws of physics, the very code that governs reality, simply break down? Imagine a region of space where cause does not lead to effect, where light travels in impossible curves, and where the past and future are not as separate as they seem. In this lecture, we will travel there with our minds, exploring this impossible place. We will float through the serene void toward an anomaly that challenges everything we think we know about our existence. So close your eyes, breathe slowly and deeply, and let us begin our voyage to the place where the universe forgets its own rules. Before we can appreciate the impossible, we must first be grounded in the possible. Our universe, as we know it, is a place of beautiful, elegant order. It is governed by a set of rules, principles we call the laws of physics. Think of gravity, the gentle, persistent force that holds our feet to the earth, that keeps our planet in a perfect orbit around the sun, and that clusters billions of suns into majestic galaxies. It is predictable, measurable, a constant and comforting presence in the cosmos. Think of the speed of light, the ultimate speed limit of the universe, a finite number that dictates how quickly information can travel, ensuring that effect always follows cause in a logical sequence. These laws are the grammar of reality. They are the reason stars shine, the reason planets form, the reason time flows ever forward. They create a stable, predictable canvas upon which the story of the cosmos is painted. For billions of years, we have observed this order, this cosmic symphony, playing out according to a set score. But our journey tonight takes us away from the orchestra, far away to a place where the music stops, and a strange, unnerving, yet beautiful silence takes its place. We are going to the exception that breaks the rule, the cosmic footnote that suggests the book of physics is far from complete. Our journey begins here, in the quiet of your room. With each breath, we drift further away. Imagine rising above your home, above the clouds, seeing the gentle curve of the earth below. The familiar blue and white marble shrinks into a precious jewel against a backdrop of infinite black velvet. We leave behind the pull of its gravity, the noise of its civilizations, and enter the profound silence of space. Here, the rules are still in place. We are in the solar system, a place of comforting regularity. We float past the moon, a silent, pockmarked guardian, its gray surface glowing with borrowed sunlight. We see the distant, fiery glow of Mars, the majestic rings of Saturn, a celestial crown of ice and dust, and the distant, cold blue of Neptune. Each planet follows its ancient, elliptical path, a cosmic dance choreographed by gravity billions of years ago. There is a sense of peace in this order, a deep tranquility in its predictability. This is the universe we know, the universe that makes sense. It is a system of immense clockwork precision, where every movement can be calculated, every position predicted. We are bathing in the familiar light of our own star, the sun, its warmth a reminder of the home we have left behind. Allow this sense of order and peace to fill you. Let the gentle, gravitational pull of these ideas ground your mind as we prepare to leave this cradle of cosmic law and venture out into the truly unknown, the deep interstellar space that lies between the stars. The first step of our journey is to embrace the beautiful, logical silence of our own cosmic neighborhood before we seek out the place where logic itself dissolves into mystery. Breathe in the order, the calm, the celestial mechanics. And now we turn our consciousness towards the void. We are now moving beyond the orbit of the furthest planet, past the scattered debris of the Kuiper Belt. The light of our sun has dwindled to become just another bright star in the sky, indistinguishable from the countless others. We have entered interstellar space, the vast and seemingly empty expanse between the stars of the Milky Way. The silence here is deeper, more profound. It is a silence that is not empty, but full. It is filled with the faint whispers of the cosmos, cosmic rays traveling for millions of years, stray particles of hydrogen, and the gentle, pervasive glow of the cosmic microwave background radiation, the echo of the Big Bang itself. It is in this immense quiet that we can truly appreciate the scale of our galaxy. Around us, in every direction, are stars. 100 billion of them. Some are young and bright blue, burning with fierce intensity. Others are old and red, nearing the end of their long lives. And between them are clouds of dust and gas, the nebulae we spoke of, where new stars are quietly being born. We are floating in this river of stars, this spiral of light and gravity we call home. We are still within the realm of known physics. The gravity of the galaxy's center holds us in a gentle, sweeping orbit. The light from distant stars travels in straight lines to reach our mind's eye. But even here, there are hints of strangeness. There is more gravity than there should be. A hidden mass we call dark matter. An invisible web that holds our galaxy together. This is the first clue that the rules we know are incomplete, that there are layers to reality we cannot yet see or understand. We are still in the familiar, but we are beginning to touch the edges of the great mystery. Let your mind drift on these galactic currents, feeling the gentle pull of the unseen, the quiet promise of a deeper reality waiting to be discovered. Now we accelerate our journey of consciousness, crossing vast distances of our own galaxy. We fly through shimmering star clusters where thousands of suns are packed together in a dazzling swarm of light. We glide over the surfaces of colossal red giants, their atmospheres so diffuse they would feel like a vacuum. We witness the silent, beautiful explosions of supernovae, casting out the elements of life into the void in slow, expanding shells of iridescent gas. We are tourists in our own cosmic city, observing its wonders. But our destination lies far beyond its limits. We are heading for the edge of the Milky Way, and then beyond, into the truly uncharted territory of intergalactic space. As we approach the galactic edge, the density of stars begins to thin. The brilliant river of the Milky Way's spiral arms gives way to a more scattered, sparse star field. The profound silence deepens even further. We are leaving the harbor and sailing out into the open cosmic ocean. The journey across a galaxy, even in thought, is a journey of humility. It shows us our own smallness, but also the incredible grandeur of the structure we are a part of. We are made from the dust of stars that lived and died in this galaxy. We are, in a very real sense, the galaxy itself, become self-aware. As we finally cross that invisible boundary, the last sparse stars of the Milky Way's halo falling away behind us, a new vista opens up. Before us is the void, the intergalactic void, the space between the galaxies. Our home, the Milky Way, now looks like a beautiful, spinning pinwheel of light behind us, a celestial island in an ocean of darkness. And in front of us, other, more distant islands of light. The faint smudges of other galaxies beckon. It is in this great emptiness that our true journey begins. This is where the universe becomes strange. The intergalactic void is not truly empty, but it is the closest thing to nothingness that exists. The density of matter here is astonishingly low, perhaps only 1 atom per cubic meter. The distances are almost impossible to comprehend. The nearest major galaxy, Andromeda, is over 2.5 million light years away. To cross this distance would take a beam of light, 2.5 million years. For us in our journey of thought, it takes but a moment. We are drifting in this profound emptiness. The light from the galaxies around us is faint, ancient. We are seeing these galaxies not as they are now, but as they were, millions or even billions of years ago. We are looking into the deep past. It is here, in this immense gulf of space and time, that the first signs of the anomaly begin to appear. It's not something we see, but something we perceive. A wrongness in the fabric of space. We observe the light from the most distant galaxies, those at the very edge of the observable universe. According to our laws, the gravity from all the matter between us and them should bend their light in predictable ways, a phenomenon called gravitational lensing. But here, in one particular direction of the sky, the light is not behaving as it should. It is bending too much, or perhaps too little. It is as if the light is passing through a region of space-time with different properties. A cosmic lens that is warped in a way that gravity alone cannot explain. It is a subtle deviation, a slight flicker in the cosmic data, but it is persistent. It is a signpost pointing us towards our destination. It is telling us that we are getting closer to the place where the rules are different. Let your mind relax into this concept of a subtle wrongness, not as something frightening, but as a source of profound wonder. The universe is showing us a secret, a crack in its own perfect facade. As we follow this trail of distorted light, the universe around us begins to feel different. The sensation is subtle at first, like the feeling of a change in air pressure before a storm. The darkness of the void seems deeper in this direction. The faint smudges of distant galaxies appear to be shifting, not moving in the way that galaxies do, expanding away from us due to the stretching of space. This is a different kind of movement, a jittering, an uncertainty. It's as if their position in space-time is not entirely fixed. We are approaching a region where the principle of locality, the idea that an object is only directly influenced by its immediate surroundings, begins to fray. It is a cornerstone of our physics, but here it seems fragile. distant objects seem to be subtly influencing each other without any apparent connection. The light from them, as it reaches us, seems to carry conflicting information. Some photons suggest the galaxy is in one position, while others, arriving at the same time, suggest it is slightly to the left. This is impossible, according to our understanding. It is as if reality itself is developing a tremor, a slight uncertainty. We are not observing this with instruments. We are feeling it with our consciousness, the part of us that is attuned to the fundamental nature of existence. This feeling is not one of alarm, but of awe. We are approaching a place where the universe is revealing its quantum nature on a macroscopic scale, where uncertainty is not just for subatomic particles, but for entire galaxies. Let this feeling of gentle, cosmic uncertainty wash over you, relaxing every muscle, calming every thought. We are entering a dreamscape of reality itself, a place of pure mystery. We have now arrived at the edge of the anomaly. We can call it the zone of silence, not because there is no sound, but because the familiar laws of the universe become quiet here. Before us lies a vast region of space, perhaps hundreds of millions of light years across, that is visually unremarkable. It is not a black hole, not a nebula, not a massive structure. It is simply a patch of the void. Yet as we cross its invisible boundary, the strange effects intensify. The first thing we notice is the behavior of light. A beam of light entering this zone should travel in a straight line, but here it does not. We can see the light from a distant quasar behind the zone, and its path is bending, twisting into a gentle spiral for no apparent reason. There is no massive object here to warp space-time with its gravity. There is no gravitational lens. The light is turning on its own, as if the geometry of space itself is intrinsically curved in this region. It is as if space is flowing like water in a river, carrying the light along with it. This violates one of the most fundamental principles of relativity. Space and time should only be curved by the presence of mass and energy. But this place is nearly empty. It is a self-curving void, an ontological paradox. Imagine floating in this region, watching beams of ancient starlight corkscrew through the darkness. The sight is hypnotically beautiful, a silent, celestial ballet of photons dancing to music we cannot hear. The colors of the light are shifted, not just towards the red or blue, but into hues that our eyes were not meant to see, colors that feel like emotions, like memories. The zone is calm, peaceful, but deeply, fundamentally strange. It is a place that should not be, yet here it is, waiting for us. As we drift deeper into this zone of silence, we begin to perceive an even more profound alteration to reality. It concerns time. Normally, time is a river that flows in one direction, from the past, through the present, and into the future. But here, the flow of that river becomes sluggish and even turbulent. We look at a distant galaxy through the fabric of this zone, and we see its image flicker. We see it as it was 1 billion years ago, then suddenly as it will be 1,000,000 years from now, then back to the present. The causal chain is broken. Effect can precede cause. We might see the light from a supernova explosion before we see the light from the star that is about to explode. This is not a trick of light. It is a fundamental property of this region of space-time. Time here is not a straight arrow, but a tangled web. Imagine the feeling of this, the release from the tyranny of linear time. The past is not gone, and the future has already happened. They're all present, layered on top of each other like transparent sheets. There is no anxiety about what is to come, no regret for what has been. There's only a profound, timeless now. This effect is deeply calming. It suggests that all moments exist simultaneously, that every joy and every sorrow is held in a timeless, cosmic embrace. The universe, in this small pocket, has forgotten the meaning of before and after. It's a place of eternal presence. Let your own sense of time dissolve. Let go of yesterday and tomorrow. Simply be here, now, floating in this place where time itself has gone to sleep. There's only the gentle, rhythmic pulse of your own breathing, a constant in a place where constants cease to exist. Now, we turn our attention to the matter within the zone. Although it is part of the intergalactic void, it is not perfectly empty. There are stray particles here, just as there are everywhere else. Protons, electrons, the occasional atom of hydrogen. But they are not behaving as they should. In our universe, particles have fixed, intrinsic properties. An electron always has the same negative charge, the same mass. These are fundamental constants, but here they seem to be mutable. We observe a particle that looks like an electron, but for a moment, its charge flickers and becomes neutral. A proton momentarily seems to have twice its normal mass, then returns to its original state. The very identity of matter is unstable. It is as if the laws that define the properties of particles are merely suggestions in this place, not ironclad rules. This has a profound implication. If matter is not stable, then complex structures, like stars and planets, and even life, could not form. This zone is not just a place where physics is different. It is a place where existence as we know it is fundamentally impossible. It is a region of cosmic potential, where matter has not yet decided what it wants to be. It is like looking at the source code of the universe before it has been compiled. Imagine these particles of matter flickering in and out of their defined states. They are like fireflies in the dark, winking with different properties, their identities fluid and uncertain. The sight is mesmerizing, a quantum foam scaled up to a visible level. It is a reminder that the solidity and predictability of our world are built upon a foundation of deep and mysterious quantum rules, rules that here have been suspended. The stability we take for granted is a gift of our particular corner of the cosmos. Let us consider the very fabric of space itself. In our experience, space has 3 dimensions: length, width, and height. We can move forward and backward, left and right, up and down. These 3 dimensions define our physical reality. But here, in the heart of the anomaly, this seems to be a temporary arrangement. For brief moments, space itself seems to gain an extra dimension. Imagine a point of light suddenly moving in a direction you cannot point to, a direction that is not up, down, left, or right. It vanishes from our 3-dimensional perception, only to reappear a moment later in a completely different location, having traveled through a 4th spatial dimension. This is not teleportation. It is movement through a higher geometric reality. This flickering of dimensions would make the universe within this zone profoundly unpredictable. The distance between 2 points would no longer be a fixed concept. A journey that should take 1,000,000 years could be completed in an instant by taking a shortcut through this other dimension. The implications are staggering. Perhaps this is the source of all the other strangeness we are observing. The bending of light, the instability of time, the mutable nature of matter. Perhaps they are all just shadows, three-dimensional projections of a more complex, higher-dimensional physics playing out. Think of how a two-dimensional drawing on a piece of paper would perceive a three-dimensional object passing through it. It would see only a changing cross-section, a shape that appears and disappears and changes its form in ways that defy the laws of its two-dimensional world. We are like those two-dimensional beings, witnessing the passage of something our minds are not built to comprehend. This thought is not confusing. It is liberating. It opens up the possibility of realities far grander and more complex than our own. What could be the source of such a profound disruption in the fabric of reality? Cosmologists have several speculative, almost mystical ideas. One is that this zone is a scar, a remnant from a time before our universe began. According to some theories, our universe was born from the collapse of a previous one, or from a collision between two higher dimensional membranes, or brains. Perhaps this zone is a place where the previous universe's laws have not been fully erased, where they're still bleeding through into our own. It is a cosmic fossil, a ghost of a reality with a completely different set of physical principles. Imagine that. A universe with different constants, different particles, maybe even a different number of dimensions, whose faint echo persists in this small patch of our own cosmos. It would mean that our laws of physics are not absolute, but are merely the local bylaws of our particular cosmic bubble. This idea transforms the anomaly from a place of chaos into a place of history, a museum of a lost cosmos. Floating here, we are not just in a strange place, but in a strange time, a time before our own time began. It fills the void with a sense of immense antiquity, of cycles of creation and destruction on a scale that dwarfs the age of our own universe. The silence of the zone is the silence of ages, the quiet memory of a reality that no longer exists. Let this sense of deep cosmic history soothe you. We are connected to a chain of existence far longer and more mysterious than we could ever imagine. Another possibility is even more exotic. It comes from the frontiers of theoretical physics, from string theory and M theory. These theories propose that our universe is just one of many, a single bubble floating in a vast, higher dimensional space called the multiverse. Each bubble, each universe, could have its own unique laws of physics. Perhaps this zone is a place where our universe has come into close contact with another one. It is a thin spot in the fabric of our reality, where the influence of a neighboring alien universe is leaking through. Imagine two soap bubbles gently touching. The surface where they meet would be a strange, stressed membrane, where the rules of both bubbles are blended and distorted. This zone could be such a place. The strange physics we are witnessing would be the physics of another cosmos, a cosmos with different fundamental forces, different particles, a different destiny. This is the ultimate expression of the cosmic neighborhood, not just other planets or other galaxies, but other entire realities existing parallel to our own. The thought is not one of loneliness, but of infinite possibility. It means that every conceivable universe might exist somewhere, in some form. A universe where magic is real, a universe where thought can shape reality, a universe made of music instead of matter. And here in this zone, we are feeling the faintest touch of one of them. It is a gentle knock on the door from a neighbor we never knew we had. The universe is not a single, lonely house, but a bustling, infinite city of realities. Allow your mind to expand to encompass this idea. Let the feeling of infinite possibility be a soft blanket, tucking you into a deep and peaceful sleep. There is a third, and perhaps the most unsettling yet intriguing hypothesis. It is the idea of a Type 5 civilization on the Kardashev scale. This is a hypothetical civilization so advanced that it has learned to manipulate the very fabric of space-time itself. It would be a civilization that can alter the laws of physics within a region of space to suit its own purposes. What we are witnessing might not be a natural phenomenon at all. It could be an artifact, a piece of cosmic engineering on an incomprehensible scale. Why would such a civilization create such a zone? Perhaps it is a laboratory, an experiment to test the limits of reality. Perhaps it is a sanctuary, a place to escape the confines of their own universe's laws. Or perhaps it is a weapon, a cosmic barrier, or a gateway to other places or times. We cannot know the motives of such a being or beings, for they would be as far beyond us as we are beyond a single-celled organism. But the idea is profound. It would mean that we are not just passive observers of the universe, but that the universe itself can be an act of will, a creation of intelligence. The anomaly would be a piece of art, a sculpture made of space-time itself. Imagine floating through this zone, not as a natural wonder, but as a cathedral built by gods. The strange bending of light, the flowing of time, they would be the architectural features of this impossible structure. It imbues the mystery with a sense of purpose, of intent. Even if that purpose is forever beyond our grasp, the idea that the cosmos contains not just natural wonders, but also artificial ones of this magnitude is a source of limitless awe. It suggests that consciousness is not just a fleeting byproduct of the universe, but that it can, in its ultimate form, become its master. Let us drift back from these grand hypotheses and simply experience the zone for what it is, a place of profound peace. Without the rigid arrow of time, there is no urgency. Without the stable identity of matter, there is no permanence to worry about. Without the fixed geometry of space, there is no single path to be bound to. It's a place of ultimate freedom, a release from the constraints of physical law. The experience is like a deep meditation. In meditation, we seek to quiet the constant chatter of our minds, to release our attachment to the past and future, and to simply exist in the present moment. This zone is the physical manifestation of that state. It is a meditative space for the universe itself. Here, the cosmos lets go of its own rules, its own identity, and simply is. The flickering of particles is like the random thoughts that arise and pass away in meditation. The gentle bending of light is like the softening of our rigid perspectives. The timelessness is the achievement of pure presence. So let us float here in this cosmic sanctuary and absorb its lesson. Let go of the rules that govern your day. Let go of the anxieties about tomorrow. Let go of the weight of yesterday. Allow your consciousness to become as fluid and unbound as the reality in this zone. There are no expectations here, no demands. There is only a quiet, mysterious, and beautiful unfolding. Breathe in this freedom. Breathe out all tension. You are floating in a place of perfect, unconditional being. A place where anything is possible, and therefore nothing is required. It is the ultimate state of relaxation, reflected in the mirror of the cosmos itself. As we continue to float in this impossible region, we notice something new, a pattern. Amidst the chaos of flickering particles and bending light, there is a subtle, recurring rhythm. It is not a sound, but a pulse in the very fabric of space-time, a slow, regular wave of energy that propagates through the zone. It is incredibly faint, but it is undeniably there. It is a heartbeat, a cosmic heartbeat, billions of years slow. Where does it come from? It does not seem to originate from any single point. It is a property of the zone itself, as if the entire region is breathing. This discovery shifts our perception once again. This is not a dead, chaotic place. It is a living, breathing entity. The instability, the broken laws, perhaps they are not a sign of decay, but of a different kind of life, a form of existence so vast and slow that we can barely recognize it as such. This rhythmic pulse is deeply soothing. It is like listening to the slow, deep breathing of a sleeping giant. It sets a pace for our own relaxation. Match your breath to this cosmic rhythm. A slow inhale as the pulse flows through you. A long, slow exhale as it recedes. You are synchronizing with the heartbeat of the anomaly. You are becoming one with its strange, peaceful life. The pulse is a mantra, a silent hum that resonates in the core of your being. It is a lullaby, sung by the universe itself. It tells us that even in the strangest, most incomprehensible corners of reality, there is a pattern, a rhythm, a form of order. It may not be our order, but it is order nonetheless, and it is profoundly, deeply peaceful. Let's examine the walls of this zone. What separates this region of broken physics from the normal, orderly universe around it? As we drift towards the boundary, we see that it is not a sharp line. It is a gradual transition, like the shore of an ocean, where the water gets progressively deeper. In this boundary region, the laws of physics don't break, but they become flexible, constants of nature, like the strength of the electromagnetic force or the gravitational constant, are not quite constant here. They fluctuate, varying slightly from place to place. This creates a shimmering, mirage-like effect. The light from distant galaxies passing through this boundary region is not just bent, but smeared, its colors separated as if by a prism. The effect is breathtakingly beautiful. It is a cosmic aurora, a curtain of shimmering, uncertain reality that separates the known from the unknown. Imagine floating within this boundary. You are in a place of transformation. To one side lies the predictable, clockwork universe of our home. To the other lies the timeless, fluid chaos of the anomaly, and you are right in between, in a place where one reality melts into another. It is a place of infinite potential. It is the cosmic dawn and twilight combined, the shimmering colors, the gentle fluctuations, the soft transition from order to mystery. It is all incredibly calming. It reminds us that change is not always abrupt or violent. It can be a gradual, beautiful process of becoming. Let the image of this shimmering cosmic shoreline lull you into a state of deep peace. You are safe, floating between worlds in a place of perfect, gentle transformation. Let us consider the information paradox on a grand scale. In our universe, information is believed to be conserved. It can be rearranged, but never truly destroyed. A black hole challenges this idea, but even there, physicists speculate that the information of what fell in is somehow preserved on its event horizon or released in the Hawking radiation. But here, in this zone, information seems to be both created and destroyed wantonly. We watch as a particle and its antiparticle spontaneously appear from the vacuum, not for a fleeting moment as quantum mechanics allows, but they appear and simply stay, a clear violation of the conservation of energy. A moment later, a different particle simply vanishes, taking its information, its history, its very existence with it. There is no explosion, no radiation. It is just gone. This is not a chaotic process. It seems to happen in a balanced way, maintaining an overall equilibrium. But it means that reality in this zone is not a continuous story. It is a story where sentences can appear from nowhere and others can be erased without a trace. This idea can be profoundly liberating for the sleeping mind. Think of a worry, a stressful memory. In this zone, it could simply cease to exist, not forgotten, but erased from the tapestry of reality itself. The information that makes up that memory could just vanish. Allow this thought to comfort you. Imagine packaging up any unwanted thoughts or feelings and releasing them into the zone. Watch them dissolve, not violently, but gently fading from existence, their information unwritten from the book of the universe. It is the ultimate act of letting go, a cosmic cleansing of the mind. There is no trace left behind, only a pure, clean slate of peaceful emptiness. We've talked about what the zone does to light and time and matter. But what would it feel like to be inside it? Not just as a disembodied consciousness, but in a physical form. Of course, any complex matter like a human body would be instantly disassembled by the unstable physics. But let's imagine we have a vessel, a probe made of something that can withstand this reality. What would its sensors read? The temperature would be near absolute zero, the profound cold of the intergalactic void. The pressure would be a near perfect vacuum, but the other readings would be nonsensical. A magnetic field sensor would report a strong north pole with no corresponding south pole. A gravity sensor would read not a pull, but a gentle, persistent push outwards from empty space. A clock on board would run forwards, then backwards, then jump ahead by 1,000 years in a nanosecond. The probe's very own atoms would begin to flicker, their mass and charge changing from moment to moment. The data sent back would be a stream of paradoxes, a list of impossible measurements that would have physicists questioning their own sanity. But for us, floating here in thought, we can translate this chaos into a feeling. It is a feeling of being completely untethered. No up, no down, no past, no future, no solid, no empty. All the concepts that anchor our perception of reality are gone. And in their place is not fear, but a sense of limitless potential. It is the feeling of being pure consciousness before it was poured into the vessel of a physical body in a universe with rigid rules. It is a return to a state of primordial, formless awareness. And this state is one of perfect tranquility. Let's explore the geometry of this place further. In our universe, on a large scale, space is flat. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. This is the Euclidean geometry we learn in school. But here, the geometry is something else entirely. It is non-Euclidean in the most extreme way. Imagine drawing a triangle. In our universe, the angles of a triangle always add up to 180 degrees. In this zone, if we could draw a triangle with beams of light, its angles might add up to 300 degrees or 50 degrees. The sum would change from moment to moment. Parallel lines, if we could draw them, would cross, then diverge, then become parallel again. The very concept of shape and form is fluid here. This has a beautiful, dreamlike quality. Think of the surrealist paintings of Salvador Dalí, with their melting clocks and impossible landscapes. This zone is a physical realization of that kind of dream logic. It is a place where the rigid structures of geometry dissolve into a flowing, organic, and unpredictable art form. The universe here is not a mathematician's perfect blackboard, but a painter's canvas, where the rules of perspective are constantly being reinvented. There is no need to understand it, only to experience it. Let your mind drift on these impossible shapes. Imagine floating through a forest of lines that are both straight and curved, past spheres that are also cubes. It is a gentle, abstract landscape for the mind to wander in, a playground of form without function, a place of pure aesthetic contemplation, perfectly designed to lull the logical part of your brain to sleep. What about the fundamental forces of nature? In our universe, there are 4: gravity, electromagnetism, and the strong and weak nuclear forces. They govern everything from the orbits of galaxies to the bonds between atoms in your body. They have different strengths and work at different ranges, but they are constant. Here they are not. In the zone of silence, the forces themselves seem to be in a state of flux. For a moment, gravity might become a repulsive force, pushing matter apart instead of pulling it together. Then, the electromagnetic force might vanish completely, causing electrons to fly away from their atomic nuclei, dissolving matter into a plasma. The strong nuclear force, which binds protons and neutrons together in the heart of an atom, could weaken, causing every atom to fly apart in a burst of radiation. Or it could strengthen, fusing light elements together into heavy ones, a form of spontaneous, cold fusion. This constant shifting of the fundamental rulebook means that the universe here is in a perpetual state of creation and uncreation. It is a cosmic cauldron where realities are constantly being born and dissolved. This is not a violent process, but a slow, majestic one. We see a region where matter dissolves into energy, and another where energy coalesces into strange, temporary forms of matter. It is the ultimate cosmic cycle, happening not over eons, but from moment to moment. The sheer creative energy of this place is palpable, yet it is a quiet, gentle creation, like the unfolding of a flower in a time-lapse video. It is a powerful reminder that the universe is not a static place, but a dynamic, creative, and endlessly surprising process. Let's revisit the idea of this zone as a cosmic scar from a previous universe. If that's true, could we learn something about that lost reality? Could we read the scar tissue? As we float here, we begin to notice that the chaotic fluctuations are not entirely random. There are underlying patterns, preferred states. For instance, the charge of an electron flickers, but it seems to flicker more often towards a specific, non-standard value than any other. The curvature of space changes, but it seems to favor a particular kind of non-Euclidean geometry. These subtle patterns could be the ghosts of the old laws. They are the remnants of a different physical order, like the faint traces of an older painting beneath a new one on a canvas. We are performing a kind of cosmic archaeology. By observing these patterns, we can start to piece together a portrait of this other parent universe. Perhaps it was a universe with 2 dimensions of time instead of 1. Perhaps it had 6 fundamental forces instead of our 4. Perhaps its particles were based on principles we can't even imagine. The act of piecing this together is a quiet, contemplative process. It is like solving a gentle puzzle. We are not just witnessing chaos, we are finding a hidden, alien order within it. This search for pattern, this gentle act of cosmic understanding, is deeply relaxing. It engages the mind just enough to keep it from wandering into stressful thoughts, while the grand, abstract nature of the puzzle soothes the soul. We are communing with a lost world, listening to its faint, fading whispers on the winds of space-time. Now, let us imagine the zone from the perspective of a being of pure energy, a hypothetical life form that has no physical body. For such a being, our universe, with its rigid laws and clunky matter, might seem like a prison, a slow, cold, and boring place. But this zone would be a paradise. It would be a place of infinite freedom and expression. Such a being could swim through the changing dimensions, ride the waves of space-time, and paint with the fluctuating fundamental forces. It could compose symphonies of light that bends in impossible ways, and build sculptures from matter that flickers in and out of existence. For such a life form, this zone would not be a place where physics breaks down. It would be a place where physics finally becomes interesting. This shift in perspective is a powerful tool for relaxation. We are redefining something that seems chaotic and dangerous from our point of view into something that is beautiful, playful, and full of life from another. Perhaps we are the strange ones, with our obsession with rules and predictability. Perhaps the natural state of the cosmos is this kind of infinite, creative freedom, and our orderly universe is just a small, quiet backwater. Let this idea dissolve your own rigid perspectives. Imagine what it would feel like to be a being of pure energy, playing in this cosmic sandbox. The feeling is one of joy, of freedom, of effortless creation. It is a feeling of being perfectly at home in a universe of infinite wonder. Allow this joyful, playful energy to fill your consciousness as you drift deeper and deeper into a state of serene rest. Let's turn our attention to the cosmic microwave background radiation, the CMB. This is the oldest light in the universe, the afterglow of the Big Bang. It fills all of space, and it is almost perfectly uniform in temperature. But there are tiny, minuscule fluctuations in it, which correspond to the seeds of the galaxies and clusters we see today. When we look at the CMB through this anomalous zone, however, it is different. It is not just that the path of the ancient light is bent. The light itself seems to be altered. In one area, the CMB appears much colder than it should be, as if the light has been drained of its energy. In another, it appears hotter. And in some places, it seems to be missing entirely, as if that patch of the sky has been wiped clean of its primordial light. It's as if the zone is actively interacting with the echo of creation. It is editing the story of the universe's birth. This is profoundly strange. The CMB is a relic, a fossil. It shouldn't be possible to change it now. But this zone is rewriting the past, or at least our view of it. Imagine this process, a gentle cosmic hand erasing and redrawing the first page of the universal storybook. The effect is not violent, but serene. It is like watching an artist restore a masterpiece, but instead of restoring it to its original state, they are changing it into something new. The image of the infant universe, viewed through this lens, becomes a dynamic, shifting canvas. It is another layer of the dreamlike quality of this place, where even the oldest and most fundamental truths are fluid and open to revision. This removes all pressure to hold on to any fixed idea, any rigid belief. If the story of creation itself can be changed, then surely we can allow our own small stories and worries to change and dissolve as well. Consider the concept of entropy, the second law of thermodynamics. It's often called time's arrow. It states that in a closed system, disorder or entropy always increases. A hot cup of coffee cools down. The heat spreads out into the room. A tidy room, left alone, becomes messy. This law gives time its direction. It is the reason why we can't unscramble an egg. But here, in the zone of silence, entropy does not always increase. We can observe regions where it spontaneously decreases. We see scattered, disorganized particles of gas suddenly coalesce into a complex, ordered structure for no apparent reason. We see heat spontaneously flow from a cold region to a hot region. It is as if the arrow of time is not just tangled, but can locally and temporarily point in the opposite direction. A broken egg could, in theory, reassemble itself here. This is the ultimate undoing of our reality. But instead of being chaotic, the site is one of stunning, spontaneous creation. It is the universe breathing in as well as out. It is a place of cosmic renewal where order can arise from chaos just as easily as chaos arises from order. This creates a perfect balance, a state of dynamic equilibrium where nothing is ever permanently lost or degraded. The universe is not slowly winding down towards a final heat death here. It is in a state of eternal, gentle flux. This is a deeply comforting thought. It speaks to a universe that is not dying, but is forever recycling and reinventing itself. Let this idea of a reversible universe soothe you. Nothing is final. Everything is part of a gentle, endless cosmic dance. Let us imagine we could take a sound reading of this zone, not with a microphone, as space is a vacuum, but by converting the energy fluctuations into audio waves. What would we hear? In normal space, we would hear a gentle, static-like hiss, the random noise of the quantum vacuum. But here, the soundscape would be very different. We would hear the slow, deep pulse we detected earlier, the cosmic heartbeat, a bass note that resonates through everything. But layered on top of it, there would be something else. Faint, melodic tones, like the chiming of distant bells. These are the sounds of the physical constants fluctuating. As the strength of the electromagnetic force changes, it rings a certain note. As the mass of a particle flickers, it creates another. The result is a form of cosmic music, a musica universalis, that is not just a metaphor, but a literal reality in this place. The music is atonal and strange, yet it has an underlying harmony. It is the symphony of a different reality. It is profoundly calming to listen to. It is the universe, humming to itself. There are no jarring noises, no sudden crescendos, just a gentle, ever-changing tapestry of sound. Let this imaginary music wash over you, the deep, rhythmic bass of the space-time pulse, and the high ethereal chimes of the unstable laws of nature. It is the perfect soundtrack for a journey into deep sleep. It is the sound of mystery, the sound of wonder, and the sound of peace. We have explored this zone as a natural phenomenon, a cosmic artifact, and a gateway to other realities. Let's consider one final, deeply philosophical idea. What if this zone is a reflection of consciousness itself? Our minds, especially in a dream state, are places where the laws of logic and physics do not apply. In a dream, we can fly, time can flow backwards, and our identity can be fluid. The dream world is a zone of broken rules. What if this region of space is the universe's dream? A place where the collective consciousness of the cosmos, or some vast, sleeping cosmic mind, allows its imagination to run free, untethered from the rigid constraints of its waking reality. This would make our journey here a journey into the mind of God, or the universe itself. We are floating through a divine dream. The strange phenomena are not violations of physics, but are metaphors, symbols in a cosmic dreamscape. The bending light is a symbol of changing perspective. The tangled time is a symbol of memory and premonition. The flickering matter is a symbol of the fluid nature of identity. This perspective imbues the zone with a profound sense of sacredness and intimacy. We are not just in a strange place in the universe. We are in the most intimate place of all, its inner world. And this inner world, this cosmic dream, is a place of infinite creativity, peace, and beauty. It is a safe and gentle place, designed for contemplation and rest. As you drift off to sleep, you are not leaving consciousness behind. You are simply moving from your own small, personal dream into this vast, beautiful, shared dream of the universe itself. As our journey nears its end, let us take a moment to look back. From our vantage point within the anomaly, how does our own ordinary universe look? We turn our mind's eye back towards the direction of the Milky Way, viewing it through the distorting lens of the zone. Our galaxy, that familiar, beautiful spiral, is transformed. It appears as a fluid, shimmering object. Its spiral arms seem to breathe, slowly coiling and uncoiling. The light from its billions of stars does not travel to us in a straight line, but in a gentle, flowing river of photons. We see moments from its past and its future simultaneously. We see the formation of our sun, and we see its eventual expansion into a red giant all at once. The sight is not tragic or frightening. It is beautiful. We are seeing our home not as a static object, but as a complete, four-dimensional entity. Its entire history laid out before us like a tapestry. It gives us a sense of profound connection to our origins and our destiny. We are part of this beautiful, breathing, timeless thing. This perspective, granted to us by the strange physics of the zone, is a gift. It is the gift of seeing the whole picture. It dissolves all our small, time-bound worries. Our lives are but a single, shining thread in this magnificent, cosmic tapestry, and every thread is essential to the beauty of the whole. Let this image of our timeless, living galaxy be the final, peaceful thought you hold on to as you drift away. Let us now begin our journey back. We slowly drift out of the zone of silence, crossing back over its shimmering, mirage-like boundary. As we do, the familiar laws of physics gently reassert themselves. The light from distant galaxies straightens out. Time's arrow begins to fly true and straight once more. The properties of matter become fixed and reliable. The geometry of space becomes flat and predictable. It is like waking from a strange and wonderful dream. There's a sense of returning to the comfort of the familiar, the safety of the known. But we are not the same as when we left. We carry with us the memory of that impossible place. We know now that the rules are not absolute. We know that the universe is far stranger, more mysterious, and more beautiful than we ever imagined. This knowledge does not make our world seem mundane. It makes it seem even more precious. Our stable, orderly corner of the cosmos is a special place, a sanctuary where life and consciousness can flourish. We appreciate the firmness of the ground beneath our feet, the reliability of the rising sun, the predictable passage of the seasons in a way we never could before. We have seen the alternative, the beautiful chaos, and we are returning home with a renewed sense of gratitude for the elegant, simple order of our own reality. The journey has not been an escape, but a lesson in appreciation. Let this feeling of gentle gratitude fill you. Gratitude for the simple, predictable, and beautiful world you are about to wake up in. We are now traveling back across the vast intergalactic void. The faint smudges of distant galaxies grow brighter, more defined. We see our own cosmic neighborhood approaching, the local group of galaxies, with the majestic spirals of the Milky Way and Andromeda dominating the view. The journey back feels quicker, lighter. We are filled with the wonder of what we have seen. The universe no longer feels like a cold, empty place governed by impersonal laws. It feels like a place of infinite secrets, of hidden depths, of playful mystery. We have been to its dream world, and we are returning with a piece of that magic in our hearts. This changes how we look at the night sky. When we look up at the stars from now on, we will not just see points of light. We will see the border of a vast, orderly sanctuary, and we will know that beyond it, in the deep darkness, there are places where the universe plays and dreams and forgets its own name. This adds a layer of enchantment to the world. It is like knowing that there is a secret garden hidden somewhere in your city, a magical place you can visit in your mind whenever you need to. The anomaly is our secret garden, a place of perfect peace and infinite possibility, waiting for us whenever we close our eyes. Let the comfort of having this secret place, this mental sanctuary, allow you to fully and completely relax. You can return there in your dreams anytime you wish. We are re-entering our own Milky Way galaxy. We cross its halo and plunge back into the river of stars. The familiar sights of nebulae and star clusters greet us like old friends. The galaxy feels cozier now, more like a home. The gravitational pull of its center is a gentle, comforting embrace. The light of its stars is warm and welcoming. We are sailing back into the harbor after a long and wondrous voyage on the cosmic ocean. The journey has been long, and we are ready for rest. We have seen things that defy explanation, things that challenge the very foundations of our understanding. But the overwhelming feeling is not one of confusion or fear, but of peace. The universe is big enough to contain both the orderly and the chaotic, the known and the unknowable. And that is a beautiful thing. It means there will always be new wonders to discover, new mysteries to explore. The story of the cosmos is far from over, and we are a part of it. We are the means by which the universe contemplates its own mysteries. This sense of belonging, of being an integral part of this grand, mysterious unfolding, is the ultimate source of peace. You are not a stranger in the cosmos. You are its child. You belong here. Let this deep, profound sense of belonging be the anchor for your sleep. You are home. We are now approaching our own solar system. That one familiar yellowish star among billions grows brighter and brighter until it becomes our sun. We see the distant orbits of the outer planets, the gas giants with their many moons. We cross the asteroid belt and see the inner, rocky worlds, Mars, then Earth, our beautiful blue and white home. The journey is almost over. We have traveled to the edge of reality and back, all within the span of this gentle lecture. We have seen things that no human eye has ever seen, contemplated ideas that push the boundaries of science and philosophy. And we've done it all from a place of safety and comfort. This is the power of our minds, of our consciousness. It is the most powerful vessel for exploration in the universe. It can travel faster than light. It can cross dimensions. It can witness the birth and death of universes. And its favorite destination, after all its grand adventures, is a place of deep, restorative sleep. As we begin our gentle descent back to Earth, back to your room, carry with you the silence of the void, the colors of the nebulae, the music of the anomaly, and the profound peace of the cosmic dream. These are the souvenirs from our journey, gifts from the universe to you. They will stay with you as you sleep, coloring your dreams with wonder and guarding your rest with the quiet majesty of the cosmos. And so, we have returned. We journey to a place that should not exist, a zone in the deepest void where the fundamental laws of our reality unraveled before our very eyes. We witnessed light bend without gravity, time lose its direction, and matter forget its own identity. We contemplated the origin of this anomaly, a scar from a lost universe, a point of contact with a parallel reality, or perhaps the incomprehensible artifact of a godlike intelligence. But more than that, we found a strange and profound peace in its beautiful chaos. We found a place free from the constraints of time and expectation, a cosmic reflection of the meditative mind. We are back now, grounded in our familiar world, but the memory of that silent, impossible place remains. The universe, we have learned, is not just a machine of perfect clockwork. It is also a dream, a mystery, a poem written in the language of space-time. The rules are a gift, not a prison, and the exceptions are a promise of infinite wonders yet to be discovered. Thank you for joining me on this journey tonight. I hope it has brought you closer to a state of deep and peaceful rest. If you've enjoyed this cosmic exploration, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more lectures for sleep. What do you imagine you would see or feel inside a place where physics breaks down? Share your thoughts in the comments below. For now, there's nothing left to do but let go. Let the gentle gravity of sleep pull you down into a soft and welcoming darkness. Sleep well.